Hello, everybody. Tonight is Scrap Your Scraps with Crafty Chris, and you're on my YouTube channel. And today I sent out an email a little earlier into the Paper Crafters Workshop VIP group just to let you know that I was on tonight and I plan to be on tonight. And I had asked you to create 3 card bases, so 8.5 by let's see, this one actually I did differently, but this is 8.5 by 5.5, so that you could fold it in half and then have your standard 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. This one I did slightly different. I didn't ask you to do it, but I did 8.5 by or I did 11 by 4.25, so that it's a tent card. A little bit different cutting, but the same process for what we need. All right, so we've been talking about scraps for the last little while. I made in previous videos, I have created these elements for pages or cards, and I have now put them onto actual cards, and they are ready to be sent out to family and friends. These are my Happy Thanksgiving cards. So this one was a 3-dimensional corner that we made, and it's just been simply put on a piece of fall-like paper. This was another pumpkin time image that we made, and I put this onto a Halloween cardstock. So just a little bit different treatment. And this is a Crisp Days one that we created with multiple popped up memorable paper features, and just put it on a simple rust background. Okay, so those are what I have created with that little package of pre-done fall corners and borders. And now today we're going to just throw together a couple other cards using some of the things we have in our collection of oddities. So we have some tags here. We have frames from a past sticker set. I have words that are made out of, they're not wood, they're that pressed board like the tags. I have a package of Forever Fall embellishments that I haven't finished using. I have bits and bobs of wooden pieces that I've colored to maybe go on the pages. So they come usually uncolored like this, and I just picked a few options and used my markers and just colored them up to see if I can use them. I'll put them over here. I also have odd sticker bits that are in my little sticker containers, little sayings. I've got these, you've seen me use these push pins before. And then just random stickers with words on them, little tags that had words on them. I've got some borders from seriously old paper that I just couldn't handle throwing out the borders, but they're very fall-like. They may come in handy. You know, so just a smattering of things. I've got some tag endy bits and another border here. So just things that I have in all of my little collection of bits and pieces. And these are some of those rub-ons. I don't know if they're going to work because I don't know how old they are. Little bug there. Okay, so I did like 2 things right off the bat. I like these guys on here, and I was thinking that I might put this frame on here, or maybe here. Yeah, because it's an up and down frame, and that's going to be a tent card. And I did like the wording of this, but I've got a little bit of a thing stuck in the E, so I'm going to try and pop that out. There we go, without wrecking it, because sometimes that does happen. So I have spending time together. That might be a fun thing to put somewhere. Let's see, what else do I have here? I've got autumn, so that's a word that might fit on that page. And I have some hearts, but these hearts are kind of pinky, so I don't know that that's going to work in this color theme, but we certainly can change that. Kind of liking a bit of this border. I have a pattern here, so I have to really be careful about what I'm using there. But this might work on this or even on this page because there's a bit of that taupey color in there. And let's see. This is a border that could work on this page. So maybe something like that just to finish the edges. And this has some pink in it, so I think I'm going to stay away from that there. Maybe I could throw a bit of border at the top of that, or maybe at the bottom of that. All kinds of possibilities. And I can even color these, but I kind of like the way the color is on those. And then I have some other bordery things. Maybe I could do something like that with that taupey colory bits, and maybe this could go through the center. What else do I have? Fall favorites. That might fit in there somehow. So basically, I'm just pulling together a whack of random things that I have that may, or, oh, I kind of like that on there. This is rather boring, so I'm going to get rid of that. But look at that flower border. That's kind of fun. Can imagine that on there, but would it stand out? Yeah, it would. So maybe that flower border can go on there. I have some leafy bits and some flowery bits here. These are more maybe conducive to this range of colors. And then this one has the browns and turquoisey colors that I might be able to do a little bit of play with. That doesn't really match. I like birds, but oops, you have to have the right colors going for you on those. So these guys I colored, and that's, if you can see it, it's 2 acorns on a leaf, and I'm trying to see if I can get you the colors there. The leaf itself has multiple colors. Let me get this in a little bit. I don't know if you can see them. It's all blending to orange, but there are greens and reds and yellows and browns all mixed in there. And it looks far more interesting up close than what you see. And here's my little squirrel. Not a lot of detail, but he might be fun somewhere. Now, so I'm just going to put these over here. Okay, so I'm just throwing together a bunch of things. I've already got a bit of a start here. I think I'm going to separate these two borders so I can see it a little more clearly, how this might look. And I kind of like the blues in that, and the oranges are pulling out the oranges, which is cool. And we've got some browns in there. And we can get rid of that. And let's see. I don't like that because that's too pink. I might be able to change those colors, but I've already got something like that. But that's going to totally disappear on there, isn't it? Yeah. So that's probably better for something that's maybe a little more plain. I'm not liking that. That's again to the pinky side. So what do we have here? We have falling leaves. Is it autumn yet? Pumpkin spice everything. Pick at the patch. Don't have any pumpkins here, but I know I do have pumpkins in here. Got a couple of pumpkins. Fall favorites. Don't even really If I put that in there instead of the fancy one. No, I think I like the way that one's going. So it's really just playing around with everything that you have. This kind of works on its own. Don't really like this because we've got kind of woody thing happening. So those pumpkins aren't going to be the greatest option. So let me pour out a few more of these things just to have a look. All right. Oh, that's a fall leaf that might be usable. Oop. It's hiding underneath. I can move over just a little bit so you can see everything. So this fall leaf might work in with these flowers a little bit. And let's see what other leafy things we have. This orange leaf, that could work in there too. But I'm just realizing, oops, lost one. I have these leaves. I wonder if they'll show up. So let me see, is that going to show up on there? If I put it with a flower, it could, yeah. So I think I'm going to look at these things, except for my, and I'm going to get rid of that. These things kind of go with that, so I'm going to keep that like that. I have a coffee cup here that I think I might add to this because fall is a real coffee time. And we have fall fun. Fall teaches us how beautiful it can be to let things go. That's kind of cool. Life starts all over again when it gets crisp. I'm going to put those up there. I have these guys out because I thought I might actually use them for, what do you call it? For flags or something. But I think I'm going to stick with just putting a central element in these pages. And fall memories. Fall memories is not really something that's going to work on here. Okay, back to this. So not using that, not using that, not using those. These I might use, this I might use. These fall leaves, I don't know, maybe. Got a couple of those kind of text leaves. I have a text pumpkin. That's something a little different. Don't really like the blue, so that's going to go over there. Not doing flowers this time. Have been doing lots of flowers in the past, so I think I'll leave the flowers. This is two blue flowers again. This is a tag that has a bit of red on it. And it kind of goes with the colors there, but we'll see if that even becomes something. Fall pumpkins are not very, they're too cartoony. Flowers we're not doing. Oh, look at, there's some little butterflies that could fit, or beetles that could fit in this range. And again, more too cartoony looking flowers and pumpkins. And I might do this here, but I'm going to change the color of that red and make it a little more orange. What else do we have here? This kind of goes with that group of things, so maybe I'll just leave that there for now. Some more of those. This. It could go with that group of things. Pink hearts. That's kind of a little tag that kind of goes with those things. Oh, here's a more kind of, yeah, it's not going to work with this group. These won't. Autumn. Maybe I'll do autumn rather than favorites. Fall favorites, autumn. I don't know, maybe. Liking what's going on here. And then I have, no, different kind of style. That's the thing. Things have styles, and you want to make sure you're kind of sticking with a style. Now I have this, which might fit in with this work. And this is a little too orange for that, but I don't know, it might brighten that one up. And I got a brown one, so it could be either one of those. And then I have this blue turquoisey star one, or I could use a brown one here. Yeah, I think if I'm going to use anything, it'll be a brown one. So that's going to go over there. I have a blue heart, but it can be made into a dark black heart. Do I want to do a heart over there? Maybe. And I think I'm going to move these over here. I might use these over here if I can get them to work. What else do I have here? Yeah, no, it's not working. So those things aren't working. And most of the stuff in here is not the right color. So I'm going to put all those things back in this container. That's a lot of things. And as I said, I do keep things seasonally. You have seen me put, leaves in a separate container by themselves if they look seasonal. I don't know what I am doing with these. Can this fit in here? I think I like that better with the gold, touch of red. I don't know about these guys, so I'm just going to keep these to the side. Whoops. In case. And I'm going to focus. And I think I want to focus on this one because this one feels the best at the moment. So let's move all of this stuff to one side. And we will look at those ones shortly. So let's see what we can do with this one. First of all, I'm going to put this border on the side because I just like the way that that fit there. And I think I'm going to try to center it so it goes off the bottom and the top a little. Whoop, I had scissors. There we go. Make sure I have the right one. Yep. And this little piece that I have left, I am going to use. So I'll put that with my borders and things. And that's going to kind of sit in the middle. Alrighty. So I have to see how this is going to line up. I want to leave it a little under on both sides. So now I've got that piece down, and I'm going to trim off the excess because I don't need that. There we go. All right. Okay, so I have this down, and I want to have this wreath piece in the center. All right. These are an interesting combination of fall, non-fall colors. But we're trying to, put things out of the box a bit. I like this. I think I like to keep it in the brown, but I do want to pop it. Now this is going to be tricky because I don't have any super fine pop dots. So that is going to be an interesting dilemma. So I think what I'm going to do is get my, where is it? Gonna get my Nuvo drops because they dry high. I'm going to find some clear Nuvo drops, and I'm going to put it on the back of this and let it dry. And that will be my pop, and then I'll just put flat adhesive on it after that. Let's see what we have. Nuvo. Well, I have a red and I have a green. Don't really have a clear. Oh, but I do have this one. So let's try this one. So this one is sparkly. Might not be good, but I'm not going to use it for the sparkles. I am just going to use it. There we go. On the back to give it a little bit of height. It will settle, and that will raise it above the page. Just got to give the same amount as much as possible. I'll show you as soon as I'm kind of finished, and you'll see how it's going to work. Okay, so I've put stickles on here. Do you see the stickles? And the stickles are on there, and they're going to settle into little beads. And if you can see sideways, those little beads are going to give it some depth. And what I'll do is put glue just on the tips of those little beads, and that will raise it off the paper so it looks like it has pop dots, except it doesn't have pop dots. It has little bits of glue. And I just want to make sure they're all about the same. So they settle about the same. There we go. Oh, that's a little too small. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side and let that settle. And I'm going to keep going. So that's going to be sort of on my upper layer anyway. So I don't really have to worry about how it's going to sit. I want to use this gold just because I think it's kind of neat. And I'm going to use a big pop dot in the center of this. It's a sticker. I should powder it, but I'm not worried about it because I have a big glue dot for the, or pop dot for the back. And I'm going to have it just, maybe I don't want it to skew. This is kind of a formal looking card, so I think I'm going to keep it aligned. There we go. That looks kind of fun. Like that. We're going to have our message at the top. I'm going to keep this because I can use this by putting white paper or colored paper behind as a frame. Don't throw anything out. And now this is a rub-on, and I'm not sure how that is going to look on the paper. It's going to be very, very pale. But that might be okay. It might be okay to have pale because it'll just be a small area that you notice. Or, oh, I love this right there coming out from behind. Isn't that cute? So I think we're going to do that. Maybe we won't use this right away. That might be another day. And this, I want to poke out paper. This is a sticker. I just have to get the stickery bit off the back, which is the challenge. There we go. Gotta have nails for this. Alrighty. So this is looking very cute. So far, so good. We've got cozy in there. All right, maybe it's a little crooked. There we go. There we go. Looking good, looking good. This is pop dotted. Awesome. Now these little gold stars I can use, or gold hearts. So I'm going to put one in the center. So there we go. So if I have that as the center, I'm going to put one right about there. And I need something to rub it down. Oops, may not be coming off. Yeah, I think that is not going to work. You can't not use your rub-ons because they do lose their rub-on-ness. The ability to rub on. No, this is not coming off. Alrighty, so I think we'll just dump those. They are not worth fighting for. And I'm going to go back because this is sort of a brownish color. I am going to use 3 little dots from my copper. Or maybe I should use the red. I think I should use the red because the red is that third color that really isn't doing much. And I have a couple of different reds I can use. I'm going to see which one really goes the best. Now this looks purple, but it actually comes out red. But it's in a clear base, so the color can't really see the color. So the drier it gets, the redder it gets. So there's that color. There's this color. There's this color. I think this one might be the one. That's a pearl. That's pretty. That's pretty close. And I have this color. This is a vintagey color. Alrighty. Now they do go a little darker when they dry. So I'm just blowing on it to get it to dry on the surface. Alrighty, so let's see which one we like the best. I think that pearl one is the one to go with, and that was this one. And that color is called Crystal Drops Metallic Autumn Red. There you go. So that works. And I'll put the others away. Alrighty, and this one is vintage. It is matte. Alrighty, so we're going to use this guy, and I'm just going to put 3 little dots on the side here. Line it up like I had it before. This is going to be my center point. So I'm going to put a dot there. And the trick with these is you don't push down and touch the paper. You have to drop it above the paper. Otherwise, you won't get a dot. And the more you practice, the more even your dots are. And this one was metallics. And okay, so now jewel drops. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that piece to dry a little bit more before I attempt to put it on, but you can see how pretty this is starting to become. And this is our tent card. All right, and then eventually we will have our saying across the top like that. So I'm just going to put it aside to dry, and we're going to work on the next one, which I think is this one. So this one, I have a little piece of border. I'm not sure about this or these, but they seem to kind of go together. I kind of like the wooden with the brown. I could change the color of this if I wanted to. So I could, with this being brown, I could change it to more red, more yellow, more orange, more darker brown, black. If I wanted to change it to a lighter color, all I would do is put white gesso on it so that the mat is now white rather than brown, and then it'll show the true color. So I wanted to cross these, and I do think I want a little bit of string coming out of the top. I'm not quite sure what color. I think I will try my gold and see how that works. So I have this in just a small amount. It has a tiny bit of gold in it, so that might not be a bad thing. You can see the glitter in it. So I think I might use that. Let's give it a go here. So as I said before, that if you're putting this through, you need to make sure that if you put it down through the front, it crosses in the front. If you put it up through the back, it crosses in the back. So I like it to cross in the front. So I am going to take this and pull it through, and it crosses in the front. Now, I'm noticing that I'm having trouble keeping all the twist on that gold filament. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. So I have to decide how I'm going to manage that. And I think what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue to keep that wrapped. I'm not going to have anything this long, obviously, but I want to just take my finger and I'm going to just use some of this clear glossy accent. Put a small bit. Ooh, if I can get it out. Okay, can't get it out, then we're going to glue. And hopefully we can get the glue out. There we go. So I'm going to put a small bit of glue on there, and I'm basically going to run it right up. And I'm going to do the same for the other side so that I have it stuck. Now this came undone, so I'm going to wrap this a little more. A little more glue at the top here because I know I'm going to cut some of this stuff off. There we go. So both those pieces now more or less are glued down to keep them from shifting after I cut. There we go. Takes 2 seconds for those to dry. Going to do the other tag And I'll trim this off, obviously. Actually, down from the front because I like that look. Crossing, there we go. Put some glue in my fingers. Glue it up. Put some more glue in my fingers. Glue it up. There we go. And they only take a second to dry. Oops. Alrighty, and this I would use just plain ordinary acid-free, lignin-free glue. That's for photos. Double check art glue because sometimes it can be a bit of a problem with changing the color of sensitive materials. Alrighty, and then I'm just going to tie that up again, put it aside, and I'll put it away later. Okay, so I have this little bit of border, and I think I would like to have that as my base. Move it up so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm kind of just centering it there, eyeballing, because that's what I like to do. All right, I haven't pushed it down. I've just tapped it on the corners because I want to play around. I may stick this underneath if I decide that I want to have that on top, or I may just have this touching. Actually, I think I already want to have it on top. So I'm going to put some adhesive across the bottom of my tag. Fold it under if it is exposed. Try not to get adhesive on your table. All right, so I've put adhesive across, put it across the front of the tag. That wasn't a good plan. All right, so let's take that off really quickly. Quickest way to get it off is with something flat like a spatula idea. This is a product from Creative Memories. It's called a multi-purpose tool. But you can also do it with, just as long as you don't have a sharp edge. So let me try to do that again. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I have adhesive on the back, and I'm going to put two pop dots here because I want the top to pop away from the card. So there's one, there's two, and this is going to go down first. I have to play with this a little bit so I can see how I want it to come out. Do I want to come out that way? Do I want it to come out that way? I think I want that on the bottom. So let's put some adhesive along here. And two pop dots at the top of this. Just as I did with the other one. A little more out to the edges because this one was closer in. All right. Then I'm going to have these two kind of cross over. Now lift this tag because now I see what I'm doing. So this is going to go there. Got a piece of tape that's showing. This is going to go there. There we go. There we go, and it pops a little bit at the top, so it just gives you some space for the string and also a little bit of dimension there. Okay, now this is going to go across the bottom, centered. Okay. Now, I had thought to put the pop dot. Let's get this little guy out of here. Fall favorites. So I could do fall favorites up there and create a little mini, kind of like these guys up at the top of the tags. So maybe I'll change the color of that. Or maybe put these together at the bottom. Maybe something like this. And something like that. And I have a tag. I like that little tag bit at the end there. Don't like the white. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to color in the white on this tag. I just have to find the right color. That's a bit too brown. Let's try a burgundy. I'm using Chameleon Pens here. Chameleon Pens have a different, oh, that's beautiful. Chameleon Pens have a much different use. They're for drawing and coloring, but in this case, I'm just filling in a section that I feel needs to have a darker background. I don't want the white, and it's going to be mostly hidden, so I'm not really worried about how accurate I am, and then I just go darken it up a little bit more. The nice thing about these pens is you can put layers on, and then to the point where you don't even see a line. It all blends together, so you don't really see any lines in your coloring. Okay, so I am going to stick this at the bottom. It's all going to be flat. All right, like that. Make sure it's kind of in the middle. There we go. And I'm going to put my coffee cup there. And I think I might pop dot that at the top. I love pop dotting half of things because it gives it sort of a ramp and makes it look a little more interesting than just being completely flat. So pop dotting that, there we go. And this, I want to change the color. I want it more that burgundy color, but I can actually go more brown on this. So I'm going back to my burnt umber because there's already a lot of red there, and I'm just going to go over it to darken this. The thing about using ink on wood is that the grain, if it's a very grainy wood, you will get a bleed. You just have to try to control it by keeping the lines as close as possible. There we go. That's a much better color. And I think it needs sparkle. So we're going to do some sparkle on there. And I'm going to use my Christmas sparkle because I don't really want to add color. I just want to add glimmer. So I'm just going to do that very lightly over top. Try to avoid the holes because you don't want it to get stuck in the holes. So this one is called Glitter Drops Holiday Cheer. Plain, like clear in the base. Color is in the stickly part, the sparkles. And oh, I filled a hole, so I want to poke that hole out. It's one of my pens. There we go. So I'll take those pins out. Alrighty, so now we have a sparkly little tree. I'm trying to catch the light. I'm not having much luck. There we go. So a sparkly little tree. And that'll pop out much more from the background. Okay, and that I'm just going to stick down with some glue. Or I could use a pop dot or a glue dot. Maybe I'll do that. No, because the glue dot will show. So I'm going to do this with white glue. I don't need to cover the whole thing, just little bits, tapping it. Doesn't need a lot of hold because it's not going to be moving. There we go. And I'll just use my pin to help me put it down. There we go. Now, this I want to pop dot as well. I had it on a different project, changed my mind, so I just added it to this instead. And because it has a little bit of space, I'm putting 5 dots on. Normally I'd only put 4. Usually don't do much more than 4 unless the span is large. Okay. Make sure I get that straight-ish. There we go. Alrighty. I'm going to put this at the top. Just need a little bit of glue. I love the way that hangs beneath the string. This I'm going to put to the side. And I'm going to try and stick it through my center pop dot. So that will hold it. There we go. Hang on a second. There we go. Don't like the way that one's playing. Not playing very nicely. There it is. There we go. Might put a tiny dot of glue behind there because it doesn't want to stay. It wants to shift. There we go. All right. And I think that is done. Fall favorites. Let's see. I think I want to put nothing. I think I just do I want to put pick of the patch under there, I wonder. Yeah. So there you have it. There's one finished card. We're just going to trim off these ends right now. Make them slightly smaller so that they don't go beyond the card. Okay, so I'm going to snip them right there. Okay. And I'm going to have them turn around. Fall down this way. There we go. being inside the envelope will make that happen a little better. And this. There we go. And there is, sorry, just fiddling with the glued part. Gives it a bit more. And there's our card. Fall favorites. Pick of the patch. So that's number 1 card. This card, let's finish that. I think our dots are going to be dry enough. And on those dots, I can now put small bits of glue so that they'll stand up. You want glue that will dry clear. And we're going to turn this over. And we're going to put this. Just hold it down a little bit. So Feather, you have something small that you need to pop dot, and you can see that popped up from the paper there. Remember, you can use your Nouveau dots that dry in a bubble or a blob to help you get that popped up look. And there's our finished spending time together card. That could be like an invitation. And I think we are close to running out of time, but I'm going to start this. And if we run out of time, I will just finish it and send post a picture into the group. Paper Crafters Inner Circle. If you would like to log on to that group to see finished products and things that once they're completed, you just need to go and apply to be on the group. So I'm going to take that much, trim this off, and I'm going to keep this little bit because I can trim around here and create 2 flowers with that. All right, and now from here, I want to have some leaves coming out from underneath. And these are stickers. So I'm just going to look for a number of different leaves. I just lift up the sticker where I want the leaf to show. Like this one with the orange. All right. And I'm going to put my autumn on because I'm pretty sure. And I'm probably going to glitter that with my glitter pen, autumn. And then let's see. I wanted to have my squirrel in the corner here somewhere, just poking his head out. I'm going to put a black eye. Just an eye. He doesn't need anything else. And so there's my little guy. He looks a little more real with an eyeball. And I'm going to glue that down. Just little taps of glue. And that's going to be glued here, hiding out by the flowers. And I think I'm going to put a few little things in this top corner. coming down. Just a few little flower bits. I think I might want to have this guy go in here. Gonna wait. Gonna wait on that. Let's see. Just throwing a few things in here. Actually, I think that's fine there. I'm just going to trim the back. I love things that go over the edge because that gives you the feeling that there's something going on beyond the edge of the image or the paper. There we go. And I think I might do the same on this side. Whoops. This is stuck. And we can have a couple of I'm going to pop dot him. This is very sort of vintage country look. Let's see. Some lighter colors in there. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do some sparkling on the flowers. And this little guy can go down here. And this guy is going to have a pop dot. Maybe 2. Don't think I can get away with 1 on him. Okay. There we go. And I like this saying, so I want to put this here. Fall teaches us how beautiful it can be to let things go. And there's our last card. And what I'm going to do is do some glossy accents and some Midas Touch glitter, gold glitter on some of these elements. And you will see that when I post it in Crafters Workshop, or not Crafters Workshop, Paper Crafters Inner Circle. All right, so that's it for tonight. Here's our 3 cards as another last look. 3 different, totally different feelings, 3 totally different eras, you could say. We have something that's more Victorian looking, a little more formal. We have something that's very country looking, very fun and carefree. And then we have something that's a little bit more planned out, a little bit more urban with some country notes and natural notes. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next Thursday, same time, same channel. Bye now.